Hello everybody, welcome back to our channel. Today is Tuesday, it is our Tuesday Economics. I'm glad that we go through the important introduction in the previous two videos. Now we are on microeconomics and we are on first talk about demand 2.1, then we talk about supply and market equilibrium. All are important concepts and you will taste methodology of economics, always drawing the curve and finding out the equilibrium point as the point of intersection, and then the shifting of the curve and how it affects the equilibrium price and quantity and whatsoever. Okay. Very funny one. It is not hard, but you need some time to get used to it. So welcome, start now. So now we are on Unit 2 Microeconomics. Okay, you're on 2.1 Demand. First of all, we talk about the law of demand, fairly fundamental law, but fairly straightforward. You can understand it, the law of demand. First of all, you talk about the meaning of a ceteris paribus. Okay, is that all other things are being equals. It is essential when we want to find the relationship between two variables. For example, in the law of demand. In the law of demand, we want to find out the relationship between a quantity demand and price. So all other things will keep constant first, and then talk about how they affect the demand at the end. Okay. So demand, what is demand? The definition you get 1 or 2 marks, okay, in the examination. Demand, okay, is the amount of goods and services consumer willing and able to purchase, okay, at different price over a certain time period. Okay. Sometimes they want to buy, but they are not able to buy it because they are out of stock. Right? Yeah, because this is too famous. That's when you want to buy that brand of chips, okay? When it's in big discount, but you're willing to buy it, but unfortunately you can't buy it because it's out of stock, okay? Because the price is too low, okay? They lower it, super sale, okay? So demand is the amount of goods and services the consumer willing and able to purchase at different price over a certain time period. Over a certain time period is important too because one day you eat something and then 2 days you eat double the food, okay? 3 days you eat the triple the food, right? So should be over a certain time period, okay? And then change of price, okay? So what is the law of demand talk about what is the change of price affects the demand? It is fairly simple at first. We'll make it complicated later, okay? The simple version is that when price increases, the willingness for consumer to purchase decreases. Yeah, when you look at the thing, suddenly, wow, Coca-Cola double its price. Oh, then I purchase it. That's why. And then the quantity demand of consumer decreases. Fairly straightforward, right? Intuitive, right? So that is the quantitative demand. Quantity demand and price are negatively correlated. They're negative correlated. They can be a curve, okay, but always have a negative slope and negative gradient. And then a demand function, okay. In AHL in paper 3, we need to use some modeling. We use the simplest model for demand function. We use a straight line model, okay. We said that, okay, QD and P are negatively correlated, so they assume they are straight line, okay. Constant relationship between them, okay, fairly uniform, stable, and then they have a negative coefficient, negative B here, and this negative B is talking about the negative correlated, okay. So A and B are positive constant, remember it is we take out the negative side here, okay, and QD is the quantity demand and P is the price level. So when you want to find one, just substitute the other into the equation. It's a simple calculation, but you can do it. You need to do it in paper 3, okay, for AHL, and then you get the marks easily. Very easy. Just go through all the purple thing of the videos, okay. So the law of demand is incorporated in the negative value of negative B, okay. That is when price increases, the QD decreases. And then remember, when you do all these calculations, remember at last, okay, to copy the units of QD and P in your final answer. Maybe QD is millions of units, thousands of units. Okay, maybe price is a US dollar or in yen or whatever. So copy it, okay, in your final answer. And then we talk about why we have this law of demand. So it's come to additional higher level. Only the AHL student need this concept because the marginal utility. This is the reason why the demand curve has a price relationship that one. Okay, marginal. We always talk about this concept. 1,000 times, even in the Excel level later in the macroeconomics. Okay, margin means the change due to the last unit. Okay, due to the last unit change is the marginal. Okay, for example, income and substitution effects. Okay, when income increases, people will have more money to spend, right? So in general, the demand for goods will increase. Okay, it is called income effects on demand. Yes, I learned it. Okay, and the other is called a substitution effect. Okay, why we have this effect? Because when the price of a good increases, okay, people when the price of a Coca-Cola increases, you are not don't drink soft drink. Okay, you shift to another brand, right? People will substitute the consumption of the good with other goods. We call it substitute. Okay, and the demand of the good will decrease. It is called the substitution effects. Okay. Summary, okay, remember, okay, demand increases when the price decreases or the income of people increases. Of course, later we'll talk about maybe some goods are reversed, but maybe some goods increases more. We have a fine discussion later, very soon, okay. And then we have a concept, very important, law of diminishing marginal utility. Later on, we will law of diminishing return, okay, always diminishing. Why? Okay. Think about what is utility. Utility is degree of satisfaction when people in consumption. Right? But when your consumption increases and increases, okay, for the same goods, okay. For example, eating more hamburgers, okay. Eating the first hamburger, excellent. Second hamburger, yummy. Third hamburger, okay. Fourth hamburger, oh, can I change to others? Okay. May I have some chips? Okay. So when your purchase of the same good increases, okay, the next unit purchase of that same good will have a less increase of utility. Okay. For example, you watch this video, you learn economics very much. Okay. Your utility is very good for the first time of watching. Second time, okay, there's a revision. Third time, you can say, well, maybe I should change to the chemistry video, right? So the utility increases slower and slower, and then so the utility curve curve downward. Okay, and how to describe this? When we describe this curve downward behavior as the marginal utility drops. Okay, marginal utility is the change of utility when one additional unit is consumed. So when you are at X, you consume one more unit, you have a large marginal utility, big Y. Okay, but when you are at Y, you have a lot of high quantity purchase already, so we have one more quantity. The marginal utility is still positive but less. Okay, so we describe this curve, downward curve of utility because of the diminishing marginal utility. So draw the marginal utility out, it will decrease with quantity consumed. So as soon about the marginal utility at low quantity consumed X is larger than that at high quantity consumed Y. So the marginal utility decreases with increasing quantity consumed. And we said that we used to face the marginal utility curve has a negative slope. And we call it law of diminishing marginal utility. It is natural, right? No one wants to purchase the same goods for a lot of money. Right? People will feel boring. Right? People like to have new stuff. Okay. Okay. Now we go back to SL. So everyone come back. Okay, please. So we talk about demand curve. Okay. What is the demand curve? Okay. First of all, we talk about what is a curve. Okay, a curve is a graphical illustration of the relationship between two variables. So remember in the curve, x-axis, y-axis, right? Maybe it is a straight line, y equals mx plus c, right? Very simple mathematical model. Quadratic, y equals ax squared plus bx plus c, okay? But in economics, we use the simplest one, just straight line relationship, okay? So characteristic of demand curve. Okay, demand curve is the price against quantity demand curve, okay? Remember, it's price against quantity demand curve. Be careful. The price is vertical axis. Quantity demand is horizontal axis. Okay, it is different of the choice of the function. We choose QD equals A minus BP. Right? If we really follow the straight line equation model y equals mx plus c, and then the y-axis should be QD, but we change it. Okay, for some reason that you understand later, appreciate later. Okay, so we use the math straight line, but you use it a little bit different. We modify it for the sake of Economics. Okay, it shows how the quantity demand of a particular good changes with its price. Okay, x-axis is QD, I say 1,000. It is quantity demanded, really consumed, and y-axis is the price. Okay, so when the price increases, the demand of a good drops. Okay, so the demand curve is still downward sloping. Okay, or it has a negative slope. Okay, or gradient. So this is the model. Okay, we know that the price and the quantity should be negative correlated, but it is a curve or a straight line. We don't know. Okay, but in IBDP, because we don't want to talk about curve too much. Okay, too much mathematics. So we choose the simplest one. The simplest one is straight line. Okay, so demand curve have a different shape in general. Yes, yes, yes. We will assume that it is the simplest straight line in IBDP. So equal y equals mx plus c. Okay. Okay, and the demand. Okay, is the relationship between the quantity demand and the price. Okay, so the demand, when we say demand, is to talk about demand curve. Okay, so demand and demand curve are identical from IBDP perspective. And the quantity demand is amount of demand at a particular price. Okay, it is a point on the demand curve. So A show the quantity demand at the price P. Okay, this is the point A situation, is the quantity demand, and the whole curve is the demand curve, talking about the relationship between price and quantity demand in general. Okay, and then we go to AHL. Okay, paper fee. Okay, derive of the demand function. Okay, it's just bear in mind. Okay, we have the y equals mx plus c model, but unluckily, when we are talking about the function, the model, we use qd equals a minus bb. So we have to convert between these two worlds. Okay, how to do so is like this. Okay, so first remember. Okay, we apply the straight line model to the right hand side directly. So price is y and x is qd. So p equals mqd plus c. Okay, but we want to change the subject to qd as the model, so you swap all the thing, and then qd equals negative c over m plus 1 over mp. Okay, and compare this thing with the model qd equals a minus bp, and we find it out. Okay, what is the x-intercept, y-intercept, and the slope and the gradient. Okay, everything is the model, but in the exam they give you the numbers. Okay, just remember, not exactly directly y equals mx plus c. You need to change the subject. Okay, our model is qd equals a minus bp. Okay, if we use this model later on, our calculation discussion will be more straightforward. Okay, so quantity demand can be found by substituting the price. Okay, sure, and price can be also be found by substituting quantity demand. Sure, just relationship. Okay, and then remember, label the axis with units in bracket at the end. If it is thousand of unit, label it as 000s unit or million unit, because the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is on the axis, right? If it's 1, we mean 1,000, 2, 2,000, 2,000. Okay, so remember 000s unit is the unit for 1,000 of units. Okay, not 1,000. Okay, 000s. Okay. Okay, market demand. Okay, but in the real world, we're not just one people. Maybe there are lots of people. What is the market demand? If there are lots of people purchasing the same good, very simple. The concept is the market demand curve is much flat than the individual demand curve. Why? Look at here. We illustrate with two people. For example, in the market, just two people, A and B. A and B purchase the same goods, has different demands. Okay, B has a high demand on it, A and less demand for it. And if the whole market just these two people, so at the price level P, A will purchase QA and B will purchase QB. And what is the market's demand? QA plus QB. Very simple, right? So we call it a market demand. Okay? So you can see the curve is flat, right, for the market demand. And imagine we have 1,000 of individuals, million of the individuals. So this curve will be much flat. Okay. Or on the contrary, we can cater it with the same similar shape by changing the unit at the quantity. Okay. For the market demand, maybe make it 1,000 units, million units, right? Then the curve will look as much similar, but with the same unit of quantity and price. Okay. The market demand curve is much flat than the individual demand. and we call it market demand. Market demand is the market demand function. Okay, so we can illustrate it with a modeling of two people. The market really have just two people. Market demand is a sum of individual demand. So we change all the thing to Q, right? And then add the Q's, individual Q together, and then use the market Q. Oh, very easy, right? So consider two individual Q1 and then Q2, right? Add them together. Yeah, just really add them together. Constant term A1 plus A2. Yes. Gradient and negative B1P, negative B2P. Wow, negative B1 plus B2P. Wow. Very straightforward. Just add the A and B together. Okay. So this is the magic. Why we stress on we use this Q model. Q equals A minus BB, not P equals something. Okay. So bear in mind that we have some reason on it. Okay. So add the quantity demand Q, not the price. Okay. So change all the subject of the function to Q before addition. Okay. Got it? Excellent. Okay. And then we talk about ceteris paribus. Okay, we just assume all the other factors are constant, but now we have to face it. Okay, talk about how about if a lot the long price factor changing. Okay, it affects the demand. Yes, some of them will affect the demand. We call it long price determinants of demand, something other than price, but which will affect the demand. For example, income. And now we are come back at the right moment for talking about income. Okay, different respond to income, necessity, inferior goods, normal goods, and luxuries. Okay. Now in general, okay, if some goods are essential to people, no matter they have money or not. Okay. When income changes, the demand of this good will be maintained. For example, drinking water. Okay. I still purchase the same amount of water, but no matter it's wine or in other form, right? So we call it necessity. Okay, even which people drink the similar amounts of water every day, right? Maybe they drink the more luxury water, right? Necessity. Okay, and then but normally, okay, when the income increases, people have more money to spend, and then demand of the good will increase. Okay, and this kind of behavior we call it normal. So we are normal goods. Okay, so when we talk about some goods are normal, of course some goods are not normal. So most goods are normal. So for example, which goods are not normal? For example, some goods okay have the image of not preferable. Okay, if people have more money, it will substitute this consumption with other goods, for example, fast food. Okay, we think the fast food is unhealthy. So when we are poor, we don't have much money, then we go to the fast food shop. Okay, if we have some money, we go to a restaurant or fine dining. Okay, so we call our fast food shop fast food. This good is inferior goods. Okay. When income increases, the demand for it will decrease reversibly. So summary, when income increases, the demand for necessity low change. Normal good increase, inferior good decreases. What's missing? Yeah, luxury. How about luxury? When income increases, the demand for luxury will increases more because we have enough money, extra money to buy it. So we can say luxury is a super normal good. Right? It's my invention. Don't answer it in IBDP. Okay, just say luxury. Okay. So luxury are normal goods with higher sensitivity to income changes. Okay, for example, luxury cars maybe get a Tesla, BMW, and Benz. Okay, less expensive car, more like necessity in US. Okay, Toyota, Honda, and Hyundai. Okay, in the past decade, US had its longest economic boom. Okay, so people become rich, so the demand for Tesla continue to rise. Okay, how do you know? The stock price of Tesla rate reaches $440 in 2020. It demonstrated that Tesla car is a luxury good. You need to remember some terms, some item that we are in expansion for the past decade, okay, to show off. Because in a long question we answered it, you need to have some. There are 3 marks or 2 marks for detailed real life example. Okay. For example, about the other inferior goods, you will remember fast food, bread, and potato are example of inferior goods. Okay. Really, yes. So during a recession from 2007 2009, see 2007 and 9 recession, past decade, okay, 2010 to 2020, booming, okay, oscillating, okay. The fast food restaurant McDonald's did very well because this is an inferior good. When the economy go down, okay, it benefits, okay. Earnings share grew by 26% in 2008, okay. It demonstrated the fast food is an inferior good. Of course, you don't need to exactly quote the 26%. You say did very well, 20%, 30% in during the recession. Okay. And then tastes and preferences, another long price determinant. tastes and preferences are very individual. Right? For the same product, someone like it much, someone like it okay, but someone hates it. Okay, so so different people can purchase it with different price. Right? Someone pay a higher price for it, someone hates it. Okay, but in modern society, you know it. The firm know it too. So they invest lots of resources to investment to change our taste and preference intentionally. And then we will feel the change, okay, unintentionally. So certainly we will love that brand very much, certainly, because they use resources advertisement, okay, not to make the goods better. They make our taste closer to their goods, okay. So when a firm advertise their goods, the demand of the goods will increase, okay. Normally we assume the firm did the right thing, right? They pay money, they should get something back, right? And then and the other concept is a future price expectation is another long price determinant. Okay, so for example, when the firm said, okay, tomorrow the price of a good will double, okay, because of the shortage, okay, what will you do? Buy a lot today, right? If you can keep for a year, maybe you buy a year stock at home, okay. For example, the olive oil, now they said that olive has a bad harvest in Greek because of the hot weather there, so olive oil will rise, continue to rise, so people start to stock up. And then, for example, inflation also, people will shift forward to later consumption. Okay, we can't use all the oil, certainly olive oil, but we just buy more. Next month's purchase, I buy it now today because I think next month it will be have a future price rise. Okay. On the other hand, if there's a future price expected to drop, okay, in deflation, okay, people will delay the consumption rate. Okay. Oh, maybe I buy next week. So the economy will be weak because the present demand will decrease. Okay. And the next concept we call it substitute and complement. Very important. Substitutes are goods which satisfy similar needs. For example, Coca-Cola and Pepsi-Cola. Okay. Different brand of chips. Okay. One of them can be consumed to replace the other. So when the price of the substitute increases, for example, when the price of Pepsi-Cola increases, okay, the demand for Pepsi-Cola decreases. So some of the demand for the Pepsi-Cola will shift to Coca-Cola. Okay, so the demand of the Coca-Cola increases. Okay? So you can see when the substitute price increase, the demand for the original goods increases too, because of this substitution effect. On the contrary, from the complement is different. Complementary goods are goods which tend to be consumed together. For example, fish and chips okay, in the UK. Okay, so fish fillet and chips are consumed together. Okay, we call it complements. Okay, when the price of the complement increases. Okay, when the price of fish fillet increases, the demand for fish fillets decreases, so the demand for chips decreases too. Okay, because they are purchased together, they are complement. Okay, so summary: when the price of the substitute increase, the demand of the original goods increase. You can't memorize it because there are two cases, right? So the logic is important. Okay, remember economics about the logic. If you can remember the thing well, by going to the real world, go to supermarket, go to the restaurant, go to the convenience store, and think about what is substitute complement. You do a few times and then your memory will be very good. Better than looking at the looks. The look is such a starting point. So for example, coffee, cheesecake, car, gasoline, air tickets, and a hotel are always consumed together. They are complement, right? So most cafes sell coffee and cheesecake together. And car selling company always give you gasoline coupons, okay, as gifts. And most popular online price comparing system compare air tickets and hotel room together. Okay. On the other hand, iPhone and Samsung are subsidy, right? Coca-Cola, Pepsi-Cola, Nike, and Adidas maybe now is Under Armour, right? Are famous pairs of subsidy. Okay. Each pair of subsidy has similar characteristic, a pricing strategy, marketing strategy, and their price changes with a high correlation. So one increases, the demand for the other will increase, so they tend to increase their price too. So their price increase together or decrease together. And the number of consumers, this is very important for the developing country. In general, when the population grows, more people, right? More consumers, so the demand for all the goods will increase. So when in the developing country, the birth rate is high, so population grows, so they have this surplus. Okay, for example, now in India. Okay. And then change of a demand function. So think about in the modeling, QD equals A minus BP, right? So if there's a constant change, constant increase of demand for all the price levels, you just add a C there, A plus C. If the constant decrease of demand for all price level, then A minus D. Very simple, right? Very simple. But in reality, the change of the demand increase or decrease are always not constant. So we need to think about how to incorporate that. So be careful about this equation. Okay, when you use it, okay, express the given quantity demand before substituting into the changed function. For example, QD is in the units of 1,000 kilogram. So when the quantity demand equals 7,000 kilogram, don't substitute 7,000, please substitute 7. That will be a disaster. Of course, you see you get some strange results, and then you reflect on it. And then change of quantity demand and the change of demand are completely different concepts. Be careful. Change of quantity and change of the original. Change of the point and change of the curve. Completely different. Quantity demand is the amount of goods and services really purchased. Okay. And demand is the relationship between the quantity demand and the price. Okay. Actually, quantity demand is just a point on the demand curve, and the demand curve is a demand curve. We illustrate it like this. Okay. For example, moving along the demand curve, you need to learn how to describe it clearly in IBDP to earn the marks. Okay. For example, we have the demand curve, one demand curve, and move along this demand curve because of the price change, not other factors. Okay. When the price increases from P1 to P2, due to the law of demand, the quantity demand will price increase. So quantity demand will decrease. Okay, from Q1 to Q2. It is shown by the movement along the demand curve from A to B. So remember, we know the concept. Price increase, quantity demand decrease, but you have to demonstrate it clearly on the diagram with one demand curve with the labeling of the initial position 1, 1, Q1, P1, and the final position P2, Q2. And clearly the arrow from A to B, not from B to A. If the question has two parts, you can make sure label A part is this arrow, B part is that arrow. It is a perfect, fairly detailed, too detailed for you, but you need to learn, explain the thing in these details, okay? Unless you will miss 1 or 2 marks in examination. But actually you know the concept, right? So make sure you know the thing, present it in an absolutely good way, okay? So when the price decreases from P1 to P3, okay? And then due to the law of demand, the quantity demand will increase from Q1 to Q3, okay? Pair, 1 to 3, 1 to 3, right? It is shown by the movement along the demand curve here from A to C, okay? In the real life example, okay, for example, in US at the Black Friday, okay, most online retailer will lower the prices drastically, okay. Price decrease, so the quantity demand will increases drastically too. So quantity demand increase sharply. Just on that day, the online sale can be $7 billion on that day. Okay, crazy. The other concept is shape of the demand curve. This is a change of the demand due to non-price determinants, okay? Not about price, maybe the substitute price, maybe about the taste change, or maybe the income effect, okay? When there's a decrease of demand, remember decrease of demand, not decrease of quantity demand, right? Look carefully in the question, okay? Decrease of demand is the inverse shifting of the demand. All the quantity demand decreased by the same amount, okay? All the quantity demand decrease at any price level. So the demand curve shift from D1 to D2 inverse shift because quantity demand all decrease, okay, and then the demand of the good will decrease. Okay? On the contrary, when the increase of demand, the demand curve will shift out from D1 to D3, and then all the quantity demand will increase, okay, at any price level. And for example, when the price of the complement decrease or subsidy increase, don't memorize, okay, memorize the concept. If you think, after a few practice, you will find out this kind of thinking process is easy for you, okay. So remember, you have to label clearly D1, D2, and D3. Okay? Have the arrow clearly shown it, decrease demand or increase demand. If this has a two answer in the same diagram, remember label it A and B, okay. Presentation is important, but you will learn it, okay, bit by bit, okay. And then, for example, real life example, for example, hotel sightseeing and facility and local tourist bus commitments, okay, for air travel, okay, commitments, okay. Together, they form the major parts of a vacation, okay. They sell together, they purchase together. On the contrary, train, bus, ferry, transport, or transportation are substitute. And the ferry tour roads rises quickly nowadays, okay. For example, traveling from London to Paris, they can choose to fly Eurostar train coach or with their car ferry. The price is about 20, 50, 10, and 40 bucks. Okay. While the Euro train is the highest price. I don't know. Maybe convenient, right? No need to wait for the flights for 2 hours. You get better luggage. Okay. And then you need to really distinguish between movement along demand curve and shape of demand curve. You encounter it a lot of times. So it's the first time, make sure you learn it good, and then later on you have the supply curve, other curve, you find it easier. Okay, movement along the curve and the shape of the curve are completely different. Okay, movement along the demand curve. Okay, when the price of a particular soft drink increases, the quantity demand will drop. Okay, shape of demand curve when the price of another soft drink increases, the demand for the original soft drink will increase. Right? The demand curve will shift outward, completely different. For example, for the AHL, okay, HL student, you need to learn how to simulate or how to model this shape of demand curve in your quantitative model QD equals A minus BP, okay? So we can choose to change A or change B, right? That's two choices, okay? If you change A, increase A, it will be outward shift by the same amount, okay? Okay, and the gradient will be the same, but the y-intercept and the x-intercept will be increased by the same amount, by the same ratio, okay? And the other, if you change b, okay? For example, if you increase b, okay? And then the slope will become, remember slope is 1 over b, right? Slope will become less steep, okay? Become flat, okay? And then because you change b, so the x-intercept a will not change, okay? So it's just turning. So look at the curve, okay? They will give you the numbers, so try to work on it, okay? I'm sure you know the results, okay? Just get some possibility to work on it, okay? Thank you. It's a big topic for demand, okay? But this is an essential. First time is a little bit hard, especially the quantity demand and the demand curve. The distinguish between them is hard, but learn it well, okay? Watch this video again, okay? I guarantee when you watch the next video about supply or the other adequate demand, if you have this good foundation for demand curve understanding, much smoother. So worth to invest some time on it, okay? Remember, it's the first time for you to learn it, especially for the HL student. First time you use the mathematical modeling in economics is completely different from mathematics or other science subject or geography, okay? Get used to it, think about it, try to understand the looks, and then you will learn it very quickly, okay? If you like our sharing, remember subscribe and like it, okay? And share with your friends, okay? See you for next Tuesday. Bye.